Well, gentlemen, it's done. This is just a overbuilt 2-pill in a 1x2 cabinet. It's got some filter caps in it. I had a customer of mine contact me about this Godzilla box on Facebook. Back in 2018, I built this 2x4. It's two 2290s drive and four 2879 Toshibas. Well, my business partner came here. He blew up his 4-pill or whatever on the day that he was getting ready to leave, and he needed a new driver, so I had built this amp for myself. I went through this period where it was like I'd build this really cool kick-ass 2x4 or whatever, and then as soon as I'd finish it, somebody would show up and they'd offer me like an absurd amount of money, right? And so I'd sell it to them. I'd just build another one. So I went all out on this box. I built it in like a 2x6 cabinet. So it's oversized heat sink, oversized, right? Or 2x6 cabinet, pardon me. And just went all out. I mean, threw everything I could think of at the time in there as a kitchen sink, right? And I just gave it to him, totally forgot about it. Well, when I went back and I was helping the family with his estate, I found that amp and I'm like, oh shit, this is my old box. I just loaned it to him, right? And then I fixed his other amp, sent it back, found it too. Ended up selling that for the family. But I was able to get that back, and so I took a picture of it. Yay, the Godzilla 2x4 or whatever it was is back. And it's just, I mean, it's just, there's not a square millimeter of the inside of the cabinet that wasn't full of caps. Okay. Well, somebody here recently, and that was back in 2001, although it seems like it was just yesterday. Gosh, 2023 already. Anyhow, somebody found that post in the group, and they got big huggles for it. Oh, they got all excited. And so that brought that amp back up to the top of the news feed on the group. So I had this guy contact me and says, hey man, can you still build like that? And the answer to that question is, yep, sure can. The reason I don't do the cap thing anymore like I used to is because a lot of guys have converted over to building, or not building, but they've got super caps or they got LTOs in most of their mobiles, right? What the cap does is it helps separate this huge voltage ripple that takes place up and down, up and down. When you come on the key and off the key, you have this huge voltage ripple that takes place. A lot of guys, they don't have big enough alternators, or they'll have a huge battery bank, but we all know that the battery bank doesn't do squat for you until you get the voltage pulled down on the electrical system to where you're running around the 12 volt area for the batteries to start kicking juice into the circuit. So the cap idea is to help smooth out that voltage dip that takes place from, your 14.5, then you key and it drops down to 13.8. Well, it does it instantly, and what we want to do is we want to soften that out a little bit. Help protect the transistors a little bit. So, I mean, I quit doing this probably 2 years ago, doing all the caps inside everything. It helps a little bit. It smooths the ripple out a little bit. Primarily do it on comp boxes for the most part. That's where you'll see all the other guys do it. So try and smooth that out, especially with the comp box where you're running like 18, 21 volts on something. But you're talking about an ideal, perfect conditions inside of a comp mobile. And you're only keying the box for like 15 or 20 seconds. It's not like we're sitting here talking on it all night. But still, if you put the caps in there, you can see a little bit better voltage, a little bit better performance out of the box. Because the voltage ripple smoothed out a little bit. Okay. So the answer is yes. Well, I had this gumption inside of me that I wanted to go build, old school. So I got two brand new Toshibas out of the bag, threw them in this cabinet, threw the kitchen sink at it, and had fun. Let's go over here and see how it performs. This is our 1,000 watt slug. This is 1,000 watt in average. This one's in PEP, by the way. This is our 5 watt slug in reverse, back from the Bird 10,000 watt dummy load. So, let's shut the amp off. And let's see which radio I got hooked up. Okay, I got the 2950. Let's establish a baseline. We are on 15.7 volts. Hello, 30 whole watts. 30 whole watts. So with 30 watts of drive, 400 out of it. A little over 400 out of it. Let's go up here and let's take a look at the 5-watt slug in reverse. 1/10 of 1 watt is input reflect coming back from the amp. 1, 2. Go ahead, we'll shut the amplifier off. Let's go back up here, and now we're measuring the RF's ability to pass through the amplifier and make it into the dummy load. Yeah. So, needless to say, that's all good. It's not like I haven't built a couple hundred of these in my day. Maybe 1 or 2, 3 or 4. All right, so let's go ahead, we'll disconnect this. Now let's hook up the derail bench striker, is what we're going to hook up. Let's go back over here. We're going to establish our baseline again. Now I got the derail striker dialed back a little bit. We're going to crank it all the way open here. I'm making about 145 watts, 130 watts. We're going to put 100 watts into it. Survey says amplifier on. Audio 1, 2. About 500 and some change. 1, 2. Now we crank the derail up a little bit. We'll crank it all the way back open, wide out. 1, 2. Almost 600 watts with no problems whatsoever. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So for the average Joe that's got himself not a super comp built up Striker 955, we know from doing this about 100,000 times, we know that a 100-watt radio going in this is going to produce roughly 500 watts. A hopped up radio that does a little bit more, 125-watt radio, let's say, you get close to 6 out of this. Now, how long is it going to continue to do the 600 watts? Quite a while. Of course, there's some variables that go along with that. You know, the voltage that you're feeding the amplifier and how hot you're going to let the amplifier get all determine how long the amplifier is going to live. Is what it is. All right, let's put the lid on it. Okay, well, there you go. That's it. Master Builder class number 40, little 2-pill. I've had a couple of my Patreons asking me for a 2-pill, and well, I had the empty cabinet sitting here, so I thought on my Sunday, my day off, even though I shouldn't be out here working, I get her done. 2-pill, $28.79, legit, old school Toshibas, ready to go out into the universe. I'm probably going to ask $500 for this, which I think is fair, taking into account there's almost $500 worth of transistors in it, so it is what it is. You guys know the drill. First one to call, first one to text. Like I said, I've already got some Patreons that are interested in getting this, so pretty sure it's going to get gone pretty quick. Gentlemen, I'm grateful for all of your support. Big shout out to my Patreons. Thank you for coming and helping support the channel. It means the world. The light doesn't get to be kept on without you all. Big shout out to Siglent, XS, Bird, Coaxial Dynamics. Gentlemen, I appreciate you. I'll see you. Click, click.